Howdy guys, it's me, Andrew, and I want to welcome you back to the channel. Today, I'll be finishing my wondrous journey with the Atelier Ryza series with the final entry, Atelier Ryza 3. To think, it was only 2 months ago when I looked at the first entry, and about a month ago when I looked at the second. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm sad to see this journey end. These games have been an absolute pleasure to play, and I'm really gonna miss it. Before I start, as always, I want to inform you guys that the version I played and recorded all footage of Ryza 3 on was the PS5 version of the game that Amazon just so happened to finally get to me 2.5 weeks after release. Thanks, Amazon. Anyway, do I recommend Atelier Ryza 3? Let's see. Ryza 3 takes place only a year after the events of Ryza 2 and kicks off immediately with Ryza and her friends, both new and old, investigating groups of islands that have mysteriously appeared near their home of Kirkin Island and are causing issues for its residents. While the investigation starts, Ryza is for some reason compelled to create an unusual key at her atelier one day. This key seems to be of some relation to a magical door based in the center of these said group of islands. With all this, Ryza and co are on another grand summer adventure with the goal of protecting their home. So now you get the gist of the setup of the story. What were my thoughts? I thought the story was a good end to this trilogy of games. I enjoyed the reminiscing Ryza and the gang do regarding to how different things are now compared to their first adventure years ago and how they've all changed since then. These scenes are a nice nod towards veteran players who've experienced the previous games while also giving newer players some extra info on the friendships and relationships of these group of characters, which I really appreciate. The actual plot of the game was pretty good, and I feel it was a step up from Ryza 2's. I really enjoyed the new characters they introduced, which brought their own and new fleshed out stories with them. All in all, I really liked the overall story and plot of the game, and give it an easy recommendation, just like the previous two. Next, let's talk about the gameplay. Just like my reviews for Atelier Ryza 1 and 2, I will be separating gameplay into 4 subsections. The first being Synthesis, the second being Gathering, the third being the Combat, and the fourth and final being the Quests. First, let's start with Synthesis. From what I saw during my playtime, Ryza 3's Synthesis system is more or less similar to previous entries. You have a recipe for an item you want to make, you can increase its quality during creation, and give it specific traits that are carried over from the materials used to make said item. Like for example, giving a piece of armor a HP regeneration stat or ailment resistance for the user wearing said armor. You can create a specific item recipe by using 2 other items to morph and create that brand new item. One notable addition is the introduction of keys. Keys can be used to perform certain effects when synthesizing. These effects can be increasing the quality level of the final product of the item you're making, giving you more turns to add materials to each node, which allows you to get just enough into improving the traits of said created item. Just like in Ryza 2, the skill tree returns. By earning SP, you can then use it to learn new recipes, new techniques for synthesis, increase your carrying capacity in your basket while in the field, and improve the quality and quantity of the items you gather. I was very happy to see a system return and tweaks to be a bit better than in Ryza 2. If it isn't broke, why change it? Now, on to Gathering. Gathering has become more streamlined this time around. Now, while you're exploring, you can collect items that don't require a gathering tool without needing to stop. This happens while in sprint, I will say. Ryza is able to traverse better than ever with the addition of mantling over obstacles, sliding under cracks, and all the other additions that are carried over from Ryza 2. Also, she can ride a dolphin! While exploring, you'll see little barriers that will block your path to little sections around the map. Most of the time, they lead to chests or more material spots. To destroy these little obstacles, you will need to use a key. Now, you must wonder, how do I get keys, Andrew? Well, I'm glad you asked. One way of obtaining keys is from little blue rays of light you will see every now and then across the map. You walk up to it and interact with it, and boom! You, my sir, have got yourself a key. That's all in Gathering. Let's get to the part of the game I think is the bee's knees. Combat. Like the previous entries, Ryza 3's combat takes place on a real-time turn-based battle system. During battles, you can choose actions like attacking, using skills, using items, all the normal stuff. There are some additions, and they are interesting ones. The first one being that you are now able to swap 2 reserve characters in and out of the active party during combat. The second new addition is being able to attain keys from enemies that have their own unique effects during combat. The lower the enemy's HP, the higher the chance that you will obtain a key from said enemy. The third addition is in correspondence with the previous addition I just mentioned. You are able to use the keys you obtain to put your controlling character in a boosted state. They will have stronger normal attacks and will gain a status effect special to the used key, like boosted stats, health regen, etc. Now, let's end this little section with the final category for gameplay, quests. Quests have been changed for the better in my opinion in Ryza 3. There are more variety of quests that you will encounter during your playtime. The first being, well, obvious, and that's your main quests, which are the objectives you need to complete in order to progress the main plot of the game. The second are world quests, which are progressed by interacting with certain structures in the game. An example of this would be me touching the stone Puni statue that lights up one of a group of circles around a main Puni structure. The third are character quests. These are quests related to your said party members. Each one of these quests only occur one time. Most of them can be completed just by viewing a scene event, but some quests require delivering items or defeating monsters. Completing these quests can net you rewards like SP, and that's it. The fourth are normal quests. These are a type of quests that can be started by talking to an NPC or approaching a specific or certain landmark. Like character quests, normal quests also occur only once, but they can also reward you with money and items alongside with SP once completed. The fifth are party quests, which are quests that will appear every so often as you progress the game that give permanent passive buffs to the character associated with said party quest. An example would be needing to synthesize items 15 times, which gives Ryza the aggression passive, which usually means it will increase your attack stat permanently, or something like that. The final type of quests you'll see in Ryza 3 are random quests. I know, pretty unique, random. Random quests will generate randomly as you explore the world and are people. Thus, they're called random quests, it's in the name. You'll know when a random quest has commenced once you see a green arrow show up on top of Ryza's head. This will guide you to the location of the quest and, upon completion, will reward you with SP, money, and items, just like some of the other types of quests I've already discussed. Now, here are my thoughts concerning each section we just went over. I thought, as always, Synthesis, Gathering, and the combat were great and they received good changes and improvements compared to previous entries. Quests, in my opinion, received the biggest improvements. The character and world quests were a good addition that gave more variety to the existing formula carried over from Atelier Ryza 1 and 2. All in all, the gameplay of Ryza 3 was splendid. Now, I've looked at everything in Ryza 3. What are my final thoughts? Ryza 3 is the best I've seen in the trilogy, and I cannot see much that wasn't an improvement compared to previous entries, making it a fitting end to Ryza's story. With the improved story and gameplay, my love for the Ryza trilogy has only grown much more. Do I recommend Atelier Ryza 3? Well, duh, you've heard me gushing over it this entire video. I'm gonna miss Ryza in the game. It hurts to say goodbye, but like all stories, there comes an end. Sometimes it's a happy ending, sometimes it's bittersweet, but there's always an end. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!